You are trying to fatten your rams for breeding season or for sales during festivities, but you're actually creating a death trap for these animals. Good day and welcome. My name is Dr. Otomi Wealth, and I'm here to talk to you about Pizzle Rot and how your nutrition affects your prized animals. What is Pizzle Rot? Pizzle Rot is also known as Sheath rot, and it's an inflammation of the prepuce. By prepuce, I mean the penile area, and this is caused by a bacteria we know as Bacterium renale. Now, when you give your animals high proteinaceous diets that are above 16% crude protein, what this does is that it creates an increase of urea in the urine or in the urinary tract. And when these bacteria are present, they produce an enzyme called urease, and urease is necessary for the conversion of urea to ammonia. Ammonia is something that the mucous membrane or the internal lining of the uh, urinary tract do not condone or are not comfortable with. And so inflammation sets in. When this inflammation sets in, you get a swelling. And the swelling I'm talking about is not small, it's a very visible swelling. So at this point, it's necessary to talk about the major causes or the predisposing factors that are responsible for this disease or the onset of this disease. The first thing I need you to pay attention is the massive hair growth around the urinary tract opening. And why am I telling you to be particular about this? The reason is this: when the hair of these animals are overgrown, because they are not humans, or because places where these animals are kept are quite dirty, most times they come in contact with this bacteria when they sit on pool or in dirty areas. And if the hair is overgrown and is stretched towards the opening of the urinary tract, most times, these bacteria get in from that urinary tract opening, and it causes an ascending tract infection. Now, beyond the fact that you have to keep that opening, the opening of the urinary tract very clean by shaving the hair, it's important to also pay attention to the protein content of your diet. Any diet that has above 16% crude protein is discouraged because of what it results to that I told you in the past, that it increases the urea content of the urine, and this urea is the precursor or what this bacteria needs to produce ammonia. How do you identify this? Like I told you, I said the swelling or the irritation is very visible, and so you notice that the penile sheath or the prepuce is really swollen and there's urine retention. Now, how do we treat this disease, or how do we treat this condition? The first thing we do is to make sure we shave the area. While we shave the area, we also put the animals on a broad spectrum antibacterial like oxytetracycline, and antibacterials like penicillins, antibacterials like trimethoprim. Now, beyond the fact that we are giving a systemic injection, or we're injecting these animals to cover, a broader area, we equally do some washing. Personally, by preference, I do washing with some penicillins. That means, I put penicillin in the penile sheet just to, reduce the bacterial load within that place. Now, beyond the fact that we treat, for very severe cases, sometimes we try to drain the retained urine and the pus that might have formed within that preputial sheet. It's important to note that this disease is transferable. That is, if one of your rams have it, it's possible to transfer it to a whole lot of your flock. So one thing is very important: when you notice it in your flock, make sure you isolate the animal and you disinfect the area where that animal was prior to when you isolated the animal. So I would urge you to stop these deaths. I know you're trying to be kind to your animals, but it's important you make sure you limit the crude protein content of your feed to around 14%. And to equally make sure that the opening of the urinary tract is always clean and free from overgrown hairs. I hope this helps. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And hit the notification button so that whenever we bring videos like this, it will be easy for you to be first notified. See you on the next one.